Becky's going to lead the most important part of that, and you know what? Electing her, another piece of history, by the way, first woman ever elected to the I got a lot of wonderful messages tonight, you know, big shots of all kinds, governors and cabinet officers and old friends. Thanks to Jay Berry, through somebody, here's the, here's the one that means the most. This is a note from Christina Morris. She is one of the 2 laid-off Thompson workers that I sat with up in Marion after they lost their jobs. And she was scared to death because she knew there wasn't another job, factory job coming. And this note tells me that she's in school. She's learning to be a nurse or nurse's aide. She knows something good is coming. She's going to try to get down here tonight. If anybody runs across Christina Morris, I want to see her. Because we did this for her and all the other people like her. Tonight for us has never been the goal line. Tonight for us has never been the objective. For Becky and me and that fabulous, idealistic young staff that worked with us all the way, for everyone in this room, tonight is the starting line. We did this for Christina and Shelley and all the other people out there for whom Indiana must once again be a place of promise and a place of prosperity. It has been a very eventful time in the life of our state. Right before I was sworn in, I think I was on a radio call-in program. A guy called in and said, in the end, nothing ever changes. Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, they're all the same. So I said, sir, I am very careful about making promises. I don't like to do it unless there's a reasonable chance, I think, of coming through. But I will make you one. In a year, you may well decide that the voters chose poorly and that we'd have been better served by somebody else, and that all the things that have happened have not been based on sound judgment. But you will not think nothing's different. I'm a big fan of maps these days. I like maps. I like maps that show who's doing well and who's not, because increasingly Indiana is a different color than most of America. This is best tax climate. There's only 4 states in green and yours is 1. This is cost of doing business. One of the most important things when we're trying to bring new business here, the first thing people are interested in is how much of the money we invest is going to cost to make our product or our service. What chance do we have of getting our money back? This is the CEOs of America. They panel and they survey them once a year. You'll notice that we're in the top 8 states. We're the only one outside the Sun Belt. And this is an overall index of economic competitiveness. When you count everything, costs, taxes, utilities, regulation, litigation, all the things that would go into the decision, where do we go, where do we take jobs, here we are again, right up in the top group, and once again, outside the Sun Belt and the Mountain West, where they have certain natural advantages, we're alone. This is results, success at attracting new jobs and investment, top 3. On this map, you don't want to be colored in. This is the map of budget deficits. We have passed back to back the leanest budgets Indiana's seen in a long time. We have balanced the budget without a tax increase, 3 straight years, including this very difficult one that we just finished. We have paid back the schools and local governments the money that was withheld from them, that was forcibly borrowed from them before we got there, and we have rebuilt the rainy day funds to about 10% of the budget, which is the level recommended for really conservative management and prudence. AAA credit rating, we have never had one in this state. If you were to read what Standard & Poor's wrote this week, they said 2 things in the plainest language possible. They said, first of all, that Indiana is a well-managed state. Its public finances have been well handled. And then they said, Indiana's economy is coming on, and it has brighter prospects than other states.
You've accomplished so much in these past 4 years. You even acknowledged that in your commercials that there have been so many changes, it's been dizzying. What's the biggest thing you wanted to accomplish but haven't?
The box we cannot really claim to have checked yet is educational attainment. Either of our adults, where we're 44th in America in post-secondary degrees. The one dimension that could hold us back is we've got a long way to go in educational attainment. We are 44th in America in the percent of adults with a college degree, and that won't cut it. We seek not only to dramatically improve the rate of post-secondary education, so essential to holding good-paying jobs now, but also to reduce the dropout rate by saying to many kids who just don't dream about college, yes, you can. Studies show that there are a lot of kids who don't imagine that they could go to college, so they don't finish high school. It doesn't.
That was me growing up.
Was it?
I never went.
And no one has ever given these young people the thought that this could be real for you.
We were discouraged. There were 5 in my family, kids in my family, and we were discouraged from thinking that way.
See, this is what we have. I would hope we could make a difference in. And you want to reach that child who's coming up in 6th or 7th or 8th grade and get this vision in their mind. You have a very large responsibility. If you got into this school, you have a lot of talent. Therefore, you have an obligation to develop that talent. I know you all intend to do that. I think you have an obligation to remember the kids who aren't here, who either couldn't get here because they weren't well enough prepared or never had the dream of college. Hi.
Hi, Dr. Daniel.
Hello, everybody. Hey, buddy, you want to help, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Courtney, how old are you? About 6? How old are you?
I'm 6.
So, are you going to be in 1st grade?
Yep.
Are you looking forward to it? You're not nervous about that, are you? Are you nervous about that? Well, it should be. You'll have fun. Were you in kindergarten this year? Was that fun? Well, see. What'd you learn?
Lots.
Good. How'd you do in 1st grade? You do well? You did well? You did well. You doing well in school?
Yes.
You working hard? Gonna work hard? Are you reading some books this summer?
Yes.
Are you? Good, good. Ready to study hard this year? Like harder than last year? Okay, all right. Be a good girl, okay? Study hard in 1st grade.
Okay.
Okay, all right. All right, you guys study real hard, and part of that is mind the teachers, all right? I'm just tired of hearing teachers, and students too, by the way, talk about classrooms that were just out of control. I always tell people that if I'd ever got in real trouble at school, my dad would have come to the school all right, but he would not have been looking for the teacher or the principal. Right? But having raised 4 of them, I subscribe to a narrow view of the civil rights of a 10-year-old. Whatever those civil rights are, it does not include the right to disrupt or wreck the education of the young people around you. So I've proposed immunizing teachers and administrations. No lawsuit can be filed against one who acts in good faith to keep order in the classroom. And
certainly in the area of healthcare, Indiana has had some successes as far as covering children and some other areas. I was just curious as to how you feel and what you intend to do to see that more Hoosiers do have access to healthcare and improve coverage.
yes, thank you. Huge issue, of course. The HIP program, we passed with large majorities of people in both parties, passed the so-called Healthy Indiana Plan, which I think is as good as any in America. And your only cost will be, as I say, less than 5% based on your income, less than 5%. And you'll get total coverage, and you'll get some preventive care, and you'll get control of the money. It's a big bite out of the uninsured problem in our state. I'll tell you one of the joys of my job right now, everywhere I go now, somebody comes up, and sometimes they're quite emotional, and tells me that now they have health insurance and they can sleep at night.
I want to thank you for signing the HIP program.
Oh, yes, we're very proud of it.
My husband was unable to get insurance.
Yep. Did you get in?
Yes.
Excellent.
I want to thank you for the HIP program.
Hey.
I just got
Did you
on
get
that.
up?
Yes, I
Yes,
did.
good.
$14 a month.
Yeah, and it's you got protection. It's a very good program, isn't
They
it?
told me that, the lady told me on the phone that I wouldn't have any copay. And I'm thinking, no, I think there's some, she said, I think we're qualified for no copay. That's wonderful. I've been without insurance for a long time since
Well,
my husband died. And
I'm getting lots of messages from people who have been without insurance and now have it. Uh-oh. I always think of it in terms of peace of mind
oh, yeah.
and if something goes wrong, you're okay. Help us spread the word. We're up to about 25,000 folks covered, which is great, but we can get a lot more. It just takes a while to get the word around that there is something like HIP out there. Love your cool shoes too.
You tell me he's a great governor?
It's really a pleasure meeting you, and I just love what you're doing with Indiana.
Well, I thank you.
Hi, Governor. How you doing?
I'm well.
Keep up the good work.
Well, we'll try.
We're very appreciative of all you do.
Don't spill that.
I'll try. I don't think it will.
Don't drip.
Spill much?
Well, no.
There, say hi.
Everybody, Mitch Daniels my name.
Hi.
How are you
Daniels.
all?
Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you for being our governor. You're
No.
about the only good politician left in this
Well,
country, I think.
you're nice to say. Bill, it's a pleasure.
I'm not a Mitch man.
Well, that's all right. Not everybody is.
I'm not a Mitch man.
Anything in particular?
Huh?
Was it anything in
I
particular?
just wonder what we're going to give away next.
We didn't give away a thing. I got you the best deal you ever get.
Where we're going to be in 10 years from now on our highways. What's our money?
You're gonna in the ground. You're gonna have $4 billion of roads you would never have had, and you didn't pay a nickel of gas tax for it. Would you like to pay a triple gas tax? Would you like to not build the roads? That's the choice we had. We could not build the road. We could triple the gas tax, or we could borrow a lot of money and Kyle could try to pay it back the rest of his life.
Now, Kyle's still too poor.
Yeah, so I didn't think that was a good idea.
What about your hog barns?
About what?
You're all for the hogs, ain't you?
Well, not anywhere people don't want them. If you don't want them, somebody else will.
Yeah.
I'm not for, no, I'm
Hell,
sure.
we're getting them all out in Randolph County.
Well, if you don't want them, go out and say so. You know, there's plenty of places where people said we'd rather not, so that people went elsewhere. Now that I agree with.
From Ohio, I'm building them over here and everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm for farmers making more money. I am, but
I am too. I'm all for that.
But not where folks don't
But
want.
don't build a hog barn in my backyard.
Okay, I'm with you on that. That's all right.
But by God, that's what they're doing.
Well, there's plenty of ways to protest that, sir, and plenty of people have successfully done that. I mean, I always say, listen, we got a big state. I don't want them anywhere people don't want them. There's plenty of places people say it'd be fine.
Well, they're just getting out of hand out here.
Well, I understand. We'll keep an eye on it.
They're getting out of hand.
And don't let anybody tell you we gave anything away. We got $4 billion and you didn't have to pay a nickel for it.
You're going to have to prove that to me.
Well, let me tell you. You go check the Treasurer's office. We collected more money just in interest. If you don't think the money's there, we collected more money in interest in the first year, it's going to happen every year, than that toll road made for Indiana in 50 years. It was losing money. So
how can they make money then if we can't?
Maybe they can, maybe they can't. We did.
Looks like we ought to be able to make money if they can make money.
You know why I didn't? Because politicians ran it, that's why. You know what? If I did nothing else for 4 years, I could probably make some money off it. But politicians didn't, and they wouldn't. You got 50 years of history to prove it, so. I appreciate your point of view. And listen, I respect your point of view. Okay.
I'm just not a Mitch.
How are you?
Fine, I'm a Democrat, but I like it.
Well, that's all right. I work for you anyway.
Thank your wife for sharing you with us.
Oh.
I'm sure you have to be gone, so you make sure she knows
I'll
that
tell
we
her.
appreciate
That's
all
very.
you've done. You're doing a great job.
Well, we're working on it. Thank you very, very much.
We'd like to have you come over to Illinois where we live.
Oh,
Our governor.
Well, now, one state's enough for me. Thanks. I hear a lot of that, but I got my hands full here.
You're doing a fine job.
Thank you very, very much.
How are we doing this? How are we recruiting? What's the success? Ohio wants to know, and Michigan obviously wants
Yeah,
to
and
know.
Illinois. Well, I don't wish them any ill, but we are, I think, separating ourselves in this state. I think, first of all, because we think like business people, and we try to see things from the other side of the table, but a lot of hustle involved, too. You know, and I'm off for Japan again next month. We'll go anywhere. We think we can bring a job back for a Hoosier, and I'm thrilled about the last couple years, but we've got a long way to go, and we cannot let up for one day. We have been coming up the list in terms of attractiveness to business. Last week, CNBC was the latest one. They said we're the most improved state in America. We are becoming a more job-friendly state, and the question is, how do we keep doing that?
We got a tough economy. What can Hoosiers here expect from you in the future?
Work every day to bring more than one job for any job that goes away. Indiana is the economic leader of the Midwest right now, but everybody's challenged, and we're not immune. But if you look at this week's papers, you see Indiana is the only state in solid financial shape, and in fact our credit rating was just raised to AAA for the first time in state history. We are on track for the 4th year in a row to break the record for jobs brought to Indiana. Really Cool Foods was one of the big captures of last year. It's important to remember that all these hundreds of new businesses that have come here. Many of those jobs are just coming online, like Really Cool Foods. Honda is hiring. The deal was 2 years ago, but the plant opens this fall. So we've got an awful lot of jobs in the pipeline on their way to Indiana. We are, and we intend to be, an automotive capital. I believe we're going to be a capital of the electric car and the batteries that power it.
And instrumental in the expansion of what we're doing is also our relationship with Think, represented by the vehicle that you see here on my right, and the battery that's sitting here. That is the battery that goes into the Think vehicle. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the future. It is happening right now. It is happening right here in the state of Indiana and in this building. And now, let me introduce a man who is crucial to making this all happen, Governor Mitch Daniels.
Thanks for the business, Albert. Thanks for that. Indiana's proud to have earned this business. I'm proud that you already make us your home and that you're about to make us your home in a much, much larger way.
You are clearly very excited about this. What does some 900 jobs mean for Indiana's economy in the years to come?
900 jobs is a great hit, but I'm thinking about the thousands that could come after. 900 jobs in 3 different towns, one of which we don't even know yet, is big no matter what the kind of business it is. But the kind of business this is just so potentially transformative for our state. We could be the capital of the electric car era, which is going to be on us now faster than I think most of us thought.
Well, thank you, and it's honor to hear you speak on our behalf. I think it's just
Well, I hope I got across how excited I really am about this.
You're like us, and that's what I really like. You come down to the everyday person.
I just want to say good morning. Good morning. Congratulations. You part of the company here?
I just got hired today. My first day on the job.
You just got hired today?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Good for you. What's your name?
Bob Kinsler.
What did you get hired to do?
Accountant.
Accountant? Do you know these guys? He just got hired today. This is Bob. Yeah.
I wasn't aware of all this was going to happen.
Well, they did it. They did it in your honor.
Oh, okay.
Meet Bob. This is your new coworker.
I'll shake your hand a little bit. I'd like to get a picture with
Absolutely. After you meet Bob.
I know Bob.
It's his first date. You are?
Latoya.
Latoya. Very good seeing you. So they didn't take your picture. Where's Scoot over?
Over here, man.
Now, right here. I'm in. There he is. Here, I'll tell you what. You sit still. I'll come back here. And take good care of my new friend, Bob. Wherever Bob is. Huh? I guess Bob went to work. I don't know. I don't see him here. Come here. They all want to meet you. Come here a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bob. See? Hey, David, are we ahead of schedule or behind?
We have plenty of time.
We do? Let's duck in this BMV branch and we'll say thanks to a few people. It's not a surprise inspection.
Hello.
I was just ahead of schedule, so I came in to say thanks for what y'all are doing. Mitch, Daniel, how are you?
I know.
What's your name?
Latanya.
Latanya, don't listen to this. Are they doing a good job for you so far?
Doing a wonderful job. It is so nice to meet you.
It's nice to see you too. Oh, it's a customer. Don't let me get in the way.
Sorry.
Huh?
We didn't interrupt, Governor.
No, hi. Mitch. What's your name?
Meet you. I'm Chris White.
Hiya, Chris. All right, well, I'm not really here to... Yeah, I am. Yeah, I want to see how they're doing. So I'm going to check with you after... okay, all right. Don't let me slow you down. I know you're on the clock. You know we keep track of exactly how long everybody's in the branch every day. And so then we like it when they get it shorter and shorter. For the last several months now, the only letters or calls I get about the BMV is people going, gee, what happened?
Yep. Hi, Governor Daniels. How are you?
I'm fine. You are?
I am Danita.
Danita. Hi, Danita.
Hi.
I'll let you.
Don't slow down. She's on the clock.
I'll let you look at the receipt when you're done to see how long it was.
Oh, it's right on the receipt.
Yeah.
I thought we had a state law that said you couldn't have a attractive picture on a driver's.
Have you checked yours?
Oh, you don't want to see.
Yeah.
So, Chris, we're going to need to get this picture reshot. So let's see. Let's see all that stuff. Oh, here you go. 7 minutes and 46 seconds. You're under the state average. That's not bad, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yep.
Take care.
Gather around. We have a list of local folks that like to speak to us, including the governor. First, I'll introduce the governor. Here's the governor.
Terrence, you have a future as an MC. That is my idea of a proper introduction. One thing we said from the beginning was we were going to be the most pro-agriculture and agribusiness administration this state had seen in decades. And at the top of that strategy is renewable fuels. This is the first of what we believe will be a string of these announcements around the state this year.
There we
go. Welcome. We appreciate the business.
Your thoughts again on coming to Claypool, Indiana?
We're in Claypool, but it's a great day for every single Hoosier. The eyes of the world literally are on this place today, the biggest such facility of its kind, a flagship facility and one of the most important economic developments of recent times. And we're just very, very proud that Indiana has come on so strong in biofuels the last couple of years. This marks us as the leader we hope to be.
We gave the governor special permission to hold a sharp object today. This is where the audience participation comes in. When I count to 3, go ahead and say, cut the ribbon. 1, 2, 3.
You're not sharp enough. Yeah. How come they stuck you guys way over here?
Plant's a nice backdrop.
Oh, I know. It's about the camera, the picture. I got it.
Am I in the shot if I'm right here, Matt?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, you guys good? Yep, I'm good. Go ahead. Talk about how this not only brings jobs to the plant itself, but to jobs to the communities that they're in.
Yeah, one of the joys of this rocket ride we're on in renewable fuels in Indiana has been that every single such plant is in or near a small town. Each one has been the first new investment in many, many years. So it's not just the jobs, the very excited people in there who've been employed here. It's the dollars they'll spend in our stores, in our coffee shops, and in all the ways that those dollars will recirculate in the community. This plant was built by Hoosier contractors, and so their workers have benefited. And the ripple effect of this is in the places where we need it most, the small towns we love.
Why do you feel it's important as governor to, during your term, continue visiting smaller communities and making the rounds?
I decided long before I knew if I'd be chosen that if I did, if we were chosen, that I would never stop the traveling. I have learned so much. First of all, it's a big state and it's different from place to place, and you just simply cannot do the job well, I don't believe, if you allow yourself to be trapped behind a desk somewhere. And I think there's value in people knowing that they can get at their governor. I'm going to give you an email that comes straight to me, and I'd like you to send me the specifics you just talked about.
Okay.
And cite, that the regulation from this board says the following, so I can run this thing to ground directly.
Have a good trip.
We will. We're going to Crawfordsville, and then we're going up to Lafayette, and we're going to Kentland. We've been traveling. We're doing 11 counties in 3 days right now. Well, I'm done for the day. I've been in, let's see if I can do this, Rensselaer, Munster, Rensselaer, North Judson, Munster, and Valparaiso, and Rochester. And I'm on my way to Wabash, but I'm basically done for the day. Mr. Gallion?
Brookville, Indiana.
Well, I was just down there for your bicentennial.
Look like you made it back around again, didn't you?
Oh, of course. Hello?
My name is Emmy Schmidt. I'm from Evansville.
I was there last night.
All right, you're on your way now to Benton County. What do you hope to get out of this town hall meeting?
This is Francis and Mary Conroy from Sellersburg.
Oh, hi, hello. I was just down there.
So what are you doing here in Albany?
Well, it's kind of on the flight path. I've been making, this is a day with about 5 stops in it. And is Letty still work at the Legion Hall in Liberty?
Yeah.
Does she? Letty's her name, right?
Yeah, Letty.
That thing Letty makes for breakfast would fill you up for a week.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten her specialty?
No. Their omelet?
It's more than an omelet. Yeah. It's got potatoes and it's got, I forget what, a lot of sausage in there and everything. Can I ask you for something to eat?
Sure can.
Mitch, by the way.
Janine,
Hi, Janine. 2 eggs over easy with bacon and whole wheat toast. Thank you very much. I'm gonna have 2 eggs over easy and bacon.
Okay.
Are you proud of your pancakes?
Very proud of them. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have one of those too then.
Okay. You know what you want?
Yeah, I'll just have 2 eggs over easy with bacon and some whole wheat toast. Yeah, yes, I've done this. You just stand by. You see how hard the poor girl's working? I just want to say good morning. Mitch Daniels, my name, the governor of the state. Mitch Daniels. I'm the governor of the state.
You're the governor of this state?
I am, yeah. What's your name?
Hi.
Seriously?
What about one of them over there?
You think that thing right there? What do you think, Tina? Is that a good choice?
Which one you want, the cinnamon or this one? Yeah, that is a good choice.
What are you recommending today? What should we have?
Beef and noodles.
It's a little heavy.
Frog legs.
All right, I'm having the noodles.
Lentil, like Robert's, lemon rice, or chicken noodle?
Oh, gotta be lentil.
What would you like to drink, hon?
A Coke.
Pepsi, all right?
Yeah, Pepsi's fine. Now, you want to know there's plenty of things I do not care for about being, an elected official. I'm gonna tell you one of the worst. You really can't eat the onions. I just want to say, whoever made the tenderloin, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
You were the one that wouldn't tell me whether to eat tenderloin or, breaded or grilled, remember?
Right.
And you finally brought me a half of each.
Would you like that again?
Sign up there? You'll see the sign.
Well, there it is, exactly.
What's it say?
All right, I better have that then. All right.
That's a Mitch special.
I'll have that. So you see, when you can't make up your mind, they'll accommodate you in here.
Do you agree that this election is more a referendum on you?
I don't think so. I think it may be a referendum on change, and whether you are comfortable with it or not, and whether you feel that real progress has been made or not. But I'm campaigning on the future. We've certainly tried to make sure people had good information about the change that has happened. But as you know, right now, our entire emphasis is on new ways to protect taxpayers and ways to improve K-12 education, how we get more of our middle-income kids affordably to college and ideas like that. I'm feeling gratified that, first of all, I think that Hoosiers are embracing change. They're seeing that if we act on our problems, we don't solve them all immediately, but we have made a huge improvement. We're doing much better than any neighboring state. I've watched good things start to happen. I've seen that we can leave a much better state to the young people who will follow us. If we just keep our courage, think big, aim high, and become agents of optimism about positive change to our fellow citizens who hadn't seen much of that change before we got here. And let's face it, it's human nature. Change can be unsettling. Someone brought up the fact that many people criticize the changes we have brought. And she said, "Oh, Mitch," she said, "listen, don't worry much about that. Remember, dogs don't bark at parked cars." Indiana's car is not parked anymore. It's in motion. And a future of greatness awaits us if we can maintain our courage and bring along our fellow citizens in a path that can only lead to the better state that we intend to leave to the young people of tomorrow and to the generations that will follow them. Thank you very much.